Hey kiddos, and welcome back to music class. I'm Mrs. Lizaola, and this is our third week of music lessons. We're already on week number 3 of music and week number 4 of school. It's so amazing, very amazing. This week we're going to focus a little bit more on that little rhyme, that little chant we learned last week. We learned this little rhyme or this little chant to help us learn about something that lives inside of every single piece of music. And that something that lives inside of every single piece of music is the steady beat. Remember we talked about the steady beat being sort of like the heartbeat or the pulse of a piece of music. In fact, I even brought a little heart pillow, and some of you may have found a steady beat stuffed animal at your house, and we held them to our chest right next to our heart, and we tapped on them. We talked about steady beat being just like a heartbeat because it's very steady and it remains the same all the time. Just like we wouldn't want our heart to stop and speed up. We don't want the steady beat of a song to stop or speed up. We want it to stay the same. Would you put your hands on your chest just like me? Let's make a steady beat right on our hearts. Very nice. You can feel that steady beat in your bones. You can feel it inside and you can hear it. I love the steady beat. Let's keep the steady beat right there. And I am going to add the chant over it. If you remember it, you can do it with me. Here we go. I think music's neat. I can keep a steady beat. I think music's neat. I can keep a steady beat. Very nice. Now you'll see I wrote the words to our chant right here on the board. And above them, I've done some hearts. These hearts are just like that heart pillow I had before. These are our steady beat heart, and they help us see, visualize where the steady beat is inside of our song or our rhyme or our chant like we have today. Just like that. Watch how it lines up, just like the pats on our chest did. Here we go. I think music's neat. I can keep a steady beat. Very nice. I'll show you that again. You keep patting on your chest the same way I'm patting on these hearts. Here we go. I think music's neat. I can keep a steady beat. I think music's neat. I can keep a steady beat. Very nice. That's the steady beat for this chant. But you know, there's more than steady beat in a piece of music. There's also something called the rhythm. And the rhythm is the way the words go. It's the number of sounds we hear. It's actually the number of sounds we hear inside of each steady beat. So you see we have our steady beats, but they have sounds that live inside of them. Sometimes it's one sound, sometimes it's two sounds. Let's talk about the sounds living inside of the steady beat for this chant. For this, I'll use blue marker. The first thing we hear is I. And that only makes one sound. Listen, I. It's one syllable, right? It's just one sound living inside of this steady beat. So I could write the number 1, except that this isn't math class. So I'm not going to write the number 1. I'm going to write a little tally mark. That's how I'll keep track of the sounds I hear. I. Just one sound. The next one, think. That's just one sound also. Musics. Huh. Musics. That's 2 sounds. You hear the 2 sounds living inside of that? So we're going to keep doing our tally marks. We're going to do 2 tally marks. So we have I think music's neat. How many sounds is that? Just 1 inside of that steady beat. I can. How many is that? I can. There's 2 sounds living inside of that steady beat. I can keep a. There's 2 sounds there too. Keep a. 2 sounds living inside of that steady beat. Steady. Steady. 2 sounds there as well. We have lots of groups of 2 sounds over here. I can keep a steady beat. Just 1 sound there. Very nice. Let's look at it again. I'll tap to these lines that we've made to record the number of sounds we hear in those steady beats. I'll tap on them while we speak through. Here we go. I think music's neat. I can keep a steady beat. Again. I think music's neat. I can keep a steady beat. Very nice. And you see over here where we have two sounds living inside of one steady beat? Well, those two sounds, they're best friends. They're BFFs. And those two sounds living inside of one steady beat, they like to put their arms around each other to show everyone that they're best friends. So I'll go through, I'll help them put their arms right there on each other's shoulders. We're going to connect them every time we have two sounds living inside of one beat. We'll do that. I think music's neat. I can keep a steady beat. Very cool. So right here you'll see we have one sound living inside of a steady beat, and right here we'll have two sounds living inside of a steady beat. But that's kind of hard to say, and musicians, we don't have a whole lot of time. We don't have a whole lot of time to say two sounds living inside of a steady beat or one sound living inside of a steady beat. So we've given them names. Every time you see one sound like this, we're going to call that ta. Ta. And every time we have two, we're going to call that T-T. I'll show you. Ta, ta, T-T, ta. T-T-T-T-T-T, ta. This time you try with me. Here we go. Ta, ta, T-T, ta. T-T-T-T-T-T, ta. Very nice. So we reviewed a little bit about our steady beat, the steady heartbeat, and we can see the steady heartbeat of this song right here in these red hearts. And then we also learned about the rhythm of this one. And we learned about two different kinds of rhythms here. We learned about ta, one sound living inside of a steady beat, looks like that. And we learned about T-T, two sounds living inside of a steady beat. I'd like you to click on that little controller right up there in the corner, just like last week, and this time it's going to take you to a game on ta and T-T, those new rhythms. I hope you have a lot of fun playing, but before you go, we've got something to do. Here we go. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye, everybody, goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Have fun.